Hello, my friends, and welcome to tonight's episode of the Strength of Thousands Adventure Path here on twitch.tv/tabletop rolls. Don't know why my voice did that, but apparently I felt like being Duffman today. We hope you're all doing. We hope you're all doing wonderfully tonight. We are doing really well. Let's talk about the other shows here on this channel right now that are happening. Starting with Wednesdays. McKenna, Matt, what's happening this Wednesday? Are we doing anything? Is anything happening?
Nothing comes to mind, Will.
Yeah, you're right. Weird. I think it's like one more week that we're off.
Are we doing like a pirate campaign? Yar.
Oh, I've done pirates so often.
Love pirates. No,
Yo
Thing
ho.
like Regency era, Jane Austen, like Bridgerton vibes is what I thought we were doing.
I shall sit here in the corner of the dance party
Oh.
and be consumed with lust for the entire evening,
God.
but say not a word.
I want to do like
Ooh,
a pride.
Matthew.
I want to do like a Pride and Prejudice era one shot now.
Spoiler warning, I will have the consumption.
That would be so fun. Oh God, get the dream team for that. So like, have McKenna, have Sarah, have Rose. Oh God,
I can write that for you.
that'd be
Like-
so much fun. Have Zoe, have Matt.
I'm still writing my murder mystery one.
It'll be a
Oh.
good time.
But
I'm so excited.
what
for
Will
that
is
one.
trying to extract from us is that we are starting the second campaign for the Wednesday show, and it is going to be Western themed. There's going to be all sorts of crazy accents. There's going to be some crazy characters. Going to be a lot of sand, probably.
Campaign
So-
If you want to watch me make my voice and speech production teacher rue the day that she taught me anything, come see me do a real bad Southern accent on Wednesday night.
It'd technically be a dialect.
To be
Yes,
fair,
it
it's
would
going
be
to
a
be
dialect.
it's going to be competition for who can have the worst accent.
Just wait till you see the
Damn
Scottish
right.
NPCs I have.
Oh
Then-
no. Squishy knows where you live
This
potentially,
thing is
Will. Be
split.
careful.
Squishy does not know where I live.
I'll tell her.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes, but
Dance.
Wednesday we are beginning our Western campaign, the League of Amazing Adventurers Wild Ambition,
Yeehaw.
with a really cool piece of intro music, which I really liked. That McKenna found once again. McKenna's 2 for 2 right now on new shows.
We workshop that.
It's nice. Remember, chat, asking your friends for help can be very helpful and get a lot of things done, and you should do it more often. It's a lesson you've learned. Then, on a Friday, we have the Astral Calling. Y'all ready for some alternate universe shenanigans and chicanery? You ready to see some
Yes.
alternate
Always
versions?
so.
Y'all ready to see some alternate
Always.
versions of a few of the characters? It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a wonderfully fun time. And that's beginning on Friday. Then, Saturday this week, we have nothing. We're taking one more week off Assault and Sorcery, as Will and Matt are going to a commander party for Magic the Gathering. Oh, we lost
Yee.
Sarah.
Oh, nope.
I must now fix the cameras quickly. There we go. Cameras
Uh-oh.
are fixed. Matt and I are doing a Magic the Gathering party on Saturday. So if you're in Winnipeg and want to play some Magic the Gathering with Will and Matt, Muse Games, Commander Party, get a Phyrexian language Beast Within as a prize.
Nice.
Not sponsored, but they're helping me get part of my wedding gift for some friends, so I'll plug them as
fun.
much as I can. Then,
What a lovely flower, Sarah.
on Sunday, barring...
Oh my goodness! I'm not sorry for interrupting you, Will. Look at him! Ah! He's got a little flower donut. Oh, Teddy Betty, what's going on, baby?
in my Streamlabs updated our view numbers right as the cat showed up. Cat got us more viewers. But Sunday, speaking of cats, We have our cat and our lovely chicken McKenna to go take care of on Stardew Valley, Stardew Sunday. We got Sarah, we got Will, we got Aubrey, we got Emily. We should be playing this week, barring anything weird happening. Sarah, you excited? You excited?
I am. We've been off for 2 weeks and I'm missing it.
You
I
ready?
will not lie.
You ready?
Also, look, Bald Leg. He has a little.
No.
So for anybody who's confused, this is Teddy the gremlin who caused mischief. He had knee surgery, and he is
Mr.
now
Mischief.
confined for another 2 months.
Oof.
He is not allowed to move or run or do nothing. So he's just here to say hi, and he's going back in his cage so he doesn't run anywhere or destroy things.
That's valid. Cats be like that. But yeah, so Sunday, Stardew Sunday. Come watch us do that. Come watch Sarah make decisions on who they romance, and come watch me madly speedrun Stardew Valley with 3 other people. But they're not doing any speedrunning stuff. It's just me.
No. I'm already 4 hearts. I'm speed running my way into Shane's heart.
Yes, speedrunning good decisions.
The best.
Speedrunning decisions.
I can fix him. But speaking of people who can be fixed, people who often fix my shortcomings, we have Matt, who will introduce the cast and the rest of the stuff happening.
Good evening, everyone. Yes, I am Matt, or Urbanoff at various places on the internet. I will be the ringmaster for this little circus of characters we have tonight. And first on that list, someone who I imagine would do very well as a ringmaster due to their stage presence. Yes, Zoe perked up, already knowing. It is Zoe, who is muted.
Well, every time we talk about like the party, it's yes, the one elf and the menagerie of creatures that are with her.
Bold
I'm
of you to
playing
assume that I don't think of
Ophelia.
bold of you to assume that I don't think of elves as creatures.
I mean, yeah, she's a creature in a way.
I have a
but
grudge against elves.
She's humanoid.
Does.
We all
And she's our
animals?
bard in our party of animals, lovely, lovely animals.
Are we not all animals deep down?
I don't
we
know.
are.
Why don't you introduce yourself and tell us?
I mean, I'm an arachnid, so technically speaking, hi, I'm
Yes,
Sarah,
I know.
and I play Charlotte, the naughty toxicologist of the group. I throw a lot of little bomby bombs that poison people, and I'm fairly good at it. Also, yes, I am wearing a shirt that says "Be gay, do crime" because that is correct.
I should also mention, as you mentioned throwing bombs and stuff, the killing blow on the boss of this entire book was delivered last week with an acid flask, I think, to the face.
Yes, with
The
like
only
a
place to
curve
put
to
it.
it as well. I curveballed
As
that.
they were about to start threatening like hostages, so real heroic melting of someone's face with acid, which is not something you see very often.
I feel like if somebody said, "Hey, Charlotte, what about the hostages?" I would go, "Oh crap, people!"
But speaking of someone who might take a more dim view of hostage taking, Will, why don't you introduce your character?
I don't know how to respond to that, Matthew.
As intended.
That's fair. Hi, I'm Will, also known as Tabletop Rolls everywhere on the internet. We got Igora, a Gripply Summoner, Gamma, their Fey Frog, and Choco, the Betrayer.
Ooh. Are you prepared, Will?
Igora, the bitter.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Actually,
That would be a cool name for a
Choco
medieval
the
character.
Betrayer is actually a really cool
It
nickname.
is.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the title that is correct is a very cool name, but it is still the correct title.
Especially since a lot of more historical appellations for traitors are specific names that would have no meaning in Galeria. You can't call him a Benedict Arnold or a Judas.
We could call
You
him...
could, it just wouldn't mean anything.
Yeah. A what?
We could call him a Tarbafon.
I mean, there's probably a god of betrayal, isn't there?
Yes, there is.
When one would expect, yes.
There's a
And
god
last
for
but
everything.
yes, but last but certainly not least, it's funny you should say that. Well, last but certainly not least, McKenna, who are you and who are you playing tonight?
Hello, guys. I am McKenna Ray Tynan of McKenna Ray Art on all the places, and I am playing Avi Avi, the Batfolk Nyctera Witch. That's all I got. And I may or may not be working on art for Wednesday night.
If you have not caught up on your backlog of McKenna's TikToks, right now could be a good time to do that because they're not posting for a bit at McKenna Ray Art.
Yes, they're very topical to any and all D&D experiences. I find.
And a couple other things too.
It's mostly D&D. I think I have like one odd post about cosplay on there, and I used to post videos about all of the character art tokens. If you scroll down far enough, you will find videos for Igora, Avi Avi, and Ophelia, as well as like Benji. But I stopped doing that because nobody liked them.
TikTok
Also-
for some reason doesn't like artwork videos, is what I've noticed.
Also,
I
do think there's at least one post about the unfortunate experience of walking into a hobby store and, to your horror, discovering a Magic the Gathering tournament going on.
That was really funny.
It's mostly the smell.
Yeah.
I found that one
It
very
walks.
A miasma, one might say.
Yes, I think that's a good word for it.
Which people used to think was how diseases were spread.
The humors.
Not drinking, toilet water, because that's obviously not how diseases are spread. But anyway, on that note, why don't we go ahead and roll that intro before we recap what happened last week? Last time on the league, last time, that intentionally, last time at the Strength of Thousands Adventure Path, our group of lore speakers from the Magambia, former students, had journeyed long and far. They had journeyed through the dungeon, or through the wetlands of the Sodden Lands, through Cyclopean dungeons, literally. Freed prisoners, trailed their captors all the way to the city of Jula to find it occupied by the Knights of Abednego, and then had raised a revolution against the occupying force. Having set that in motion, they stormed into the Knights' stronghold, a series of smuggler caves. And after going through a few slightly dicey combats, they managed to find the leader of the Knights of Abednego, a cruel and horrible man by the name of Ajbal Kimon. And after a good fight involving some shenanigans with invisibility and some people turning into dragons, victory was snatched from an uncertain future, and here we find our characters. Still in the Smuggler's Caves.
Matt, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Does our exploration through the forest make us pathfinders or trailblazers?
I'll have to think on that.
And if we are trailblazers,
but yeah.
do I get a baseball bat?
Maybe.
Cool.
You have to find it in a garbage can.
I'll look through it.
So we pick up exactly where we left off last time, with the horrible sizzling popping sounds from Ajbal Kimon's face as he lies, having been killed by a flask of acid to the face. There's probably some shards of glass sinking into the soft material of his face. Well, what's left of his face? You probably don't want to look at it.
Mushy Pete eyeballs, honestly. They're just mush.
I just look over at Charlotte. Remind me that that's going to happen when you get mad at me.
Of course.
Yeah, I'll be prepared.
Why
for
would
that
she get
one.
mad at you?
No reason.
Just to be sure, Zoe, you still know you're muted, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. You seem to be emoting a fair amount. I'm like,
Oh, I'm emoting. Right? I may not be
There's
making any
emotion.
sounds, but I am emoting quite a bit.
acting. But anyway, yes. Now that you guys have defeated the bad guys, and you also know the prisoners are likely being held directly to the south because they indicated they were going to start executing prisoners unless you let them go or something, or throw down your arms. You haven't searched the room, anything, just as clarification.
I can't throw down my arms; they're attached to me.
Well, he ran over
Here.
this way, right?
Yeah, right down there.
I'm gonna open that door
Avi,
with my
wait.
dragon
Wait,
bod.
how long?
You hear a sound as the entire cave network begins to collapse. No.
Mm. I was more
Avi,
worried
Avi,
about the
wait.
civilian. I was more worried about the civilians that we're going to scare.
I'll be gentle.
Avi,
Fine,
Someone
she's
suffered-
adorable.
2 people suffer an immediate heart attack.
She's a dragon with bat wings and ears. I don't know how that's not
Or
cute.
little floppy bat wings on her head.
Let me at least try to use. I think I have like a plus 23 to athletics in this form, something like that.
Can you speak in this form?
I mean, I have a mouth.
I mean, does he have keys?
I
on
got a
him?
breath weapon.
I'm assuming it's
You have a breath
probably-
weapon.
If I have a breath weapon, I have a mouth, and I see
only
no
know one
reason why
word,
I
and it
cannot
is
use
death.
words.
I mean, you could still use message.
Is it really a breath
I don't
weapon?
know.
Yeah.
It's not a cone.
It's curious though if you speak Draconic in this form.
I speak Draconic either way.
Oh, I mean, there you go.
So it is currently unknown whether or not this form has.
While you're looking in through the bars and stuff, Gamma kind of like nudges Igora and points over to the ritual sigil that was on the ground there.
Yeah.
There does seem to be a book sitting on the ground next to the runes that had been painted on the floor.
All right, I'll just pick that up and open it up.
Um,
Let's see.
Anyone who wants can give me an Arcana check, because this is a book full of runes, and so to assess its value, you probably won't need an Arcana check.
Nope, I can't read.
That's a book.
I will
Got
not, because I'm
31.
too focused right now on Avi trying to pry open this door as a dragon.
I would say you can totally just pull the door off its hinges as a dragon.
Oh yeah.
By the by, Ophelia and Avi, you determine that this book is probably worth around 200 gold pieces, though what might impact its resale value a little bit is that it seems to detail the perverse and abhorrent rituals in Norba Gorber's faith, including the sacrifice ritual that they were preparing for, it seems. It also provides a glimpse into unique spells of the Norgarbor faith, providing access to the following spells: Black Finger's Blades, Gray Shadow, and Mire Cloak.
Oh, good. These are some of the buffs I wanted.
Also, kind of unsettling, despite the fact that there's a bit of a breeze through the cave network, doesn't seem to touch the pages of this book. Pages do not react.
Who would probably love this book?
Mercedes.
No.
I knew that was going to happen. I knew what you were going to say and what the reaction
Listen,
was.
I have a single veto. Veto. Red flag. No.
Who said that you had a veto? We never agreed on
I
that.
have a veto.
Endurance of Darkness kind of perks up. Wait, are we
We
a
get a
parliamentary
veto.
system?
You didn't get a veto
We're
when you were
not.
mad at Choco.
You didn't even know what this book was until we told you.
I vote independent, honestly.
Wait, I didn't tell you anything about what this book is.
That's true. Igor doesn't know what this book is. This whole entire conversation is irrelevant.
Yeah,
Mm.
you rolled a 1.
So y'all don't share information. I see how it is. Noted.
Ew.
Someone might need to start rolling up a new
Angie.
character.
Yes, I might.
Happening?
Megara might just be leaving the party.
Why
soon.
why are you all Charlotte's just like looking at the now ripped off door going, why are you all arguing? I don't understand.
Sorry. There was a book. I got distracted.
Funny
I
book.
immediately turned into a tiny bat again. Can someone change my character
Poof.
token?
I
How
gotcha.
long can you be a dragon?
The
You're
dragon?
where
About a minute.
going? We have people to save. Okay.
You do.
I'm
Oh.
keeping an eye out in case things come at us.
Iboka's dad! Where are you?
Hello,
He knows us.
party people.
Kolnok. His name, oh boy. Kolnuku.
Onuku.
He is
Kolnuku.
overjoyed to see you all again.
Yay.
He's a little worse for wear because, they haven't been treating the prisoners terribly well or feeding them terribly well. And because you guys got here in fewer than 12 hours, all 6 people are still present. None have been sacrificed yet. So good job on that for not taking a long rest and a half between now and when the revolution started.
Yeah. I'm surprised there is a contingency for that.
I mean,
For
it
end of
makes
this book.
sense to me, but I have a sticking point with adventure modules where people can seemingly take 8 hours between moving from one room next to each other, and there is no consequence outside
I think
very
I mean that
specific
I'm-
situations.
I'm
wasting
surprised
his
that there
time.
is a contingency written in there because I'm surprised it was assumed that players might take those breaks given the circumstances.
Power gamers.
Yeah. Take a long rest after every room.
Oh god.
Jesus.
There's a group that I played with where unless you gave them a reason that they were on a clock, they would be taking a long rest after every encounter.
Oh god.
To be fair, if you're
That
doing like
sounds-
the Tomb of Horrors or something, you should absolutely do that.
No, you're on a clock in the Tomb of Horrors too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Anyway, hi people.
But
We
yeah.
should get them out of here.
Yes.
If we were doing XP, you guys would get 20 XP for each prisoner you rescue.
Only
Yeah.
20.
So
What's 20
I was
times?
over here like, do we get more if we murder them?
you get less.
Boo!
Good,
take-
as it should be.
A weird apparition suddenly appears and hits you with a ghast's ability to drain levels.
Ooh.
That's in PF1.
Harsh.
Yeah,
120. That's what
Harsh
it
but
is.
fair.
Took me a second.
yes. But basically, we are essentially now done with this dungeon. The rest, there's a couple like stragglers kind of still in some corridors,
Okay.
but because you guys finished off the leader, and because you're undoubtedly taking a long rest after this,
Hell yeah.
they will not prove a challenge, and they probably would have fled anyway. So, I'm going to move us back to the overview of Jula map. Just because
How messed up is the city, Matt?
the city is looking okay. There is a few buildings have been kind of slightly scorched, but you do see lots of Knights of Abednego in various states of disarray. Some are just slain on the streets, but a lot of them seem to have probably thrown down their arms in face of overwhelming numbers. Because while they are vicious and cruel, they are also a lot of cowards. Because remember, criminals are a cowardly and superstitious lot.
True, true.
And I'm just going to read the actual conclusion text. All right, block text. Without Ashbal's leadership, the Knights of Abednego are little more than common bandits. The people of Jula defeat and capture some knights, but many flee the town just altogether. Because you guys made the deal with Saraku, the Uruxes take off into the surrounding wilds, and over the next few days, hunt down and bring back a number of the knights who thought they could get away, and bring them back so they can stand trial for their crimes.
Ooh.
Just love them.
Well, that
And in a
decision scaled well.
In a rare bit of I'm not sure if this is pathetic fallacy technically, because it's sort of the opposite. Because of this wonderful change of fortunes for Jula, the rain breaks for a short time, which is a pretty rare occurrence in the sodden lands, but the sun shines on. Now, there was actually one award you guys were going to get, I think, only afterwards. Let me just check here.
Are we all having a party?
Yes, all right. So because you guys managed to bolster Father Haverill's morale and earn the assistance of at least 3 NPCs, Father Haverill seems to have been redeemed by in the course of the revolution. His spirits have been raised, and a lot of people seem to look on him with newfound respect. His old bow has become an oath bow that speaks common in the voice of Father Haverill's departed mother. After the battle, which you guys returned from the Kale House, he presents you guys with the oath bow.
With an oath bow.
Yes.
Fuck, I wish I used ranged weapons.
Oh, well, Zoe, congratulations.
That's really cool. What does it do? It talks?
It does a lot more than talk.
It is a, let's see.
I got it.
Yeah. To start with,
It's pretty. That's all I care about.
It is constructed of a flexible white wood and with ornate twisting designs carved into a surface. This +2 striking composite longbow appears to have been made by elves. Sometimes when you loose an arrow, its whistling in flight sounds like a voice whispering in Elven, wishing for the swift defeat of your enemies. Though, because this is a special oath bow, it actually will whisper in the voice of Father Haverill's mother.
That's cool.
So you can spend an action to activate with a command. You swear an oath to destroy one creature you can see. For the next 7 days, or until this creature is slain, your attacks with the bow against this creature deal 1d6 additional damage, and you gain a +2 circumstance bonus to survival checks to track that creature. Your critical hits against the target gain the bow's critical specialization effect. If they would already do so, they instead increase the DC, so that's not really a thing. Yeah. So, and if you activate, you can't activate again for another 7 days, unless you kill the thing that you swore your oath again. Then you only have to wait 10 minutes. So, everyone, let Zoe kill steal whenever you can.
Got it.
Oh.
+2 striking is pretty good too.
Yeah. I mean, the +1 striking has been kicking butt.
Yeah, you have been doing surprisingly well with your bow.
Well,
Love
it
it.
should be. I don't think if it's just if the person kills it. I think as long as that thing dies.
If you kill the creature you sworn an oath against.
So
But-
what happens if it dies and you weren't the one to kill it? Do you still have to wait 7 days?
You know what? I will look into that because that wording is a little unclear. And
I mean,
haven't come-
technically, you kill if all of us are hitting something and it dies, we all kill
Well,
it.
Here's the thing. You doesn't necessarily mean the same as the person who made the oath.
I know that's
You
how it
is a
works in
little just saying
5e,
you is a
but-
little unclear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll look into that. The semantics of it. But still, cool.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yum. And it matches your outfit.
So you were presented with this bow, and a few people kind of clap you on the back and everything, congratulate. You look down at this bow in your hands, and you kind of trace a hand over the kind of wonderful elven carvings in it, because it was originally like an elven-made oath bow before whatever happened that the spirit of Father Haverill's mother went into it. But as you just kind of trace over the elven runes with your thumb, you do notice your hand that is doing so is kind of trembling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I'm not sure if anyone else notices this. Anyone wants to make a perception check can.
I see nothing. I'm looking at the
Ooh, 37 from Avi.
Yeah, Avi, you do notice a slight trembling in one of Ophelia's hands as she's kind of handling the bow. And you also hear Ophelia kind of this whining, kind of like I don't know if you've ever experienced tinnitus, kind of a whine that just kind of that builds slightly in the back of your head for a moment, and then almost as soon as it's there, it's gone again, and the trembling kind of leaves your hand.
Oh God. Can I? Ooh. Is that like a magic thing? What can I roll?
It's hard to tell. You've experienced a few things like this before, where you've just gotten the weird kind of headaches and the like, but it's hard to tell. It's
Rub an
like
object.
you don't know the cause necessarily of it. You don't think it actually has anything to do with the bow necessarily. You didn't feel like any tingly from your hand actually holding the bow,
Okay.
but
Okay. I'm
You,
dying.
you feel a teeny tiny little bat paw on top of your hand. Avi just kind of looks up at you and gives you like a
I like
good face.
look down. I'm like, yeah. We're good.
you guys do have a bit of a choice to be made now. Your job is done. You set out to do what you accomplished. You got Iboko's father back. You have freed the town of Jula. The Knights of Abednego are scattered to the winds or being rounded up to, serve or to go to trial for their crimes. Do you want to stick around and help rebuild a little bit? Do you want to just say your goodbyes and start heading back? Because you do have some students back at the Blood Salt Ruins who are getting up to who knows what. It's up to you guys.
I mean, like, as much as I want to help rebuild this town, we came here to get her dad. We need to get her dad back to his people.
Why don't we compromise a little bit? We can call back our students from the Blood Salt, and we can have them come here and help with the restoration, and it'll be a good learning experience. They can actually put their sort of skills to a practical use, and this city will benefit from it. Maybe we can teach them that restoration
Avi,
ritual.
Just before we go forward with that, keep in mind that without the use of a cursed carriage, our students are 7 days away from us.
Also, someone roll me a d20.
Also, child labor.
I want to do it.
They're not child. They're they're college students. At worst, we're just making them interns.
And unpaid.
At worst, and that's perfectly legal for some reason.
A certain undead knight has just crawled out of a pit.
Oh, mother!
Luckily,
Oh,
I still have disintegration ready.
I'm not saying if they are anywhere near you. I'm just saying they are still out
They
there.
finally made it out of that pit.
Woo! I don't want my lungs filled with liquid again, okay? I just don't.
yeah, that was icky. That was not my favorite thing to have had happen.
It was very scary.
I mean, you do have the option. You could summon your students to trek through the jungle on their own to get here, or you could return to Blood Salt.
no, because then they're gonna get their lungs filled with liquid on the way over here.
I personally think that there is not that much that we can fully do. We could help, but I also know that we should get back to the students and get this gentleman to his child again. However, I don't see how staying a night in the inn and celebrating with the town would be bad before we head out.
That is fair. That is a fair point.
Yeah, I do think that we should at least also sleep,
I would
take
like
a nap.
Yeah.
I would love a nap.
I should also just confirm with you guys one detail, and I'm going to be intentionally kind of vague about this. Did I, at any point, award you guys as loot some letters?
No.
No.
Okay, I think you guys may have just missed those then.
Cool.
It's not
Wait,
it's not vitally important. It literally says that without other stuff you can't do anything with these letters. So
Oh.
Ooh.
Boo!
Well, to be fair, I did very much melt the body with a lot of acid, so
Mm.
there's only so much that can survive that acid.
Yeah, wait, we
It was
didn't.
good acid. It was good acid.
Oh yeah, no, we didn't actually loot his body, did we?
We didn't. That's
Hmm.
so weird.
I mean, on account of the acid.
Yeah.
Of the acid. It's a little testy.
And I would assume
It's probably still
magical
active.
magical items wouldn't have gotten eaten. So, what do you have on him that was magical, Matt?
Plus, most of his stuff, because he was kind of a rogue, were just inborn abilities.
Mm-mm.
Boring.
Most of it.
Probably because as soon as we killed him, we would have been like, "What did he have?" But then we
Yeah, we were running a
switched
little late
over
last
to
time,
this,
so we.
this day
Um,
instead.
Either way, I think that's a good plan. I'm
You guys want to head back to Blood Salt and reunite with your students?
yeah.
All right. Because there's nothing in the conclusion about the trip necessary, I'm just going to say, you guys, unfortunately, it doesn't appear like anyone's picking up a ride. The citizens are more than happy to provide you guys with some giant riding frogs, which is common in
Well,
the
I mean,
Soglands.
could we get the cart that was used to carry the weapons? Could we get that so we could have something to sit in? That'd be
Sure, then you're provided with some strong horses then, because while riding frogs are useful in the swamp, not good for being latched to horses, because that's not how frogs move.
Igora, how do you feel about riding a frog as a frog?
Points at Gamma. Does the frog centaur. Goes like this.
Wait, before we leave, do we need to open the door?
Huh? Oh, I already did that.
Yeah.
Oh! I think I missed that.
I think.
How was
Are
it?
you saying
Did
this is
anything happen?
McKenna or as
In character, because Bobby
Okay.
didn't see it.
That's true.
Oh wait, did I have the vision of
Yes.
Yeah.
the child?
only you.
Only.
So I do relay that to everybody. I'm like, you guys, we saved a child by
Or
doing
that
that.
child's now in a box.
What is up with you in boxes?
There, she has a literal person in a box.
Yeah, that was their
Child in a
choice.
box. It's a child in a box.
And at some point in your time of knowing us, if any of us want to be in a box, let us do it.
Boxes
It's
are
okay.
really comfy, by the way. I don't know if any
I'm
of you
going
have
to
ever
kill it.
actually been in a box.
Honestly, I am considering taking, because I kind of owe
sabbatical?
her now. If I were to take a sabbatical, I wouldn't mind if I knew Magnificent Mansion doing the Magnificent Mansion thing. I do think I would ask to not be in a box and just be like doing the travels for a year or so.
But if Mercedes sweetened the
You
deal a
just-
little bit,
you can
she
just
might spend
see-
some time in the box with you.
You can just see the blood vessel on Igara's, like, you can just see the blood vessels on Igara's, like, thing just, like, popping and just be like, you know what? If you all want to die, it's your own fucking choice. That's fine. Igara just walks away. Doesn't even, doesn't
I like to think this
Walks
conversation is
the
happening
fuck away.
while you guys are on the cart
I just,
Yes.
I just
This is
hop
happening
out. I was
during
like,
the voyage.
I'm fucking walking.
He just
God
hops
damn
off,
it.
And then he hops on top of Gama and just keeps going. It's like,
Angry frog centaur.
I just summon a leaf. I'm holding it above my head.
adorable. It's an
Girl,
adorable
you're gonna
image.
catch cold.
I can't catch a cold. I'm cold-blooded. That's not how cold works.
It's a virus, so yes, technically you could catch it.
Yeah,
I am
cold is a
full-
misnomer.
I am
Because you're
fully
cold-blooded,
vaccinated.
you're actually more susceptible to getting sick from the cold.
It's fine. I don't get sick. I have the
The
Igora
horse
immune
suddenly
system.
comes to an abrupt stop.
Okay.
Ooh.
That's
The,
rude.
the horse
Why
has
would you
just
do that?
stopped.
Hello, horsey. I can speak to animals.
wait.
What's going on?
It says nothing, but as you kind of lean out to speak to the horse, there is something on the road.
What's in the road?
Time to
Can I
kill
make a
it.
There is
perception
a small bird with
Is
a
it
color.
God?
It is a weird combination of a toucan and a chicken with
It's
slightly
God.
with slightly googly eyes. It seems to be in the midst of oh god, Will's destroying the bird.
God, Igora.
Hold on a sec.
I throw myself in
That
front
is-
of God.
I,
with
that is
my
Matt. That
I
is for
very
King. That is for
dramatically
Matt. That is for
throw
comedic
my
effect.
tiny bat body.
Okay.
That is for that is
Um,
purely for comedic effect. I am not just destroying an animal that has done nothing to attack us.
Yeah.
I cannot do that as Igor.
The bird just seems to be sitting in the road, chomping down on a large centipede or something. Something a bird would eat. Just kind of tilts its head to look at you.
Good for you.
I speak directly from my little bat throat to this god bird and say, "It is my great honor to be in your presence. How can I assist you today?"
What are you doing?
A
Dried
little
fruit?
bat hand does this to your mandible.
They've all fucking lost.
You have
all
any
of
dried
them.
fruit? I like dried fruit.
Oh yeah, give him some dried
I would
dried
love
mango.
to give you some dried. Do you have a preference? We have dried mango, dried apricot, and also dried grapes.
Those are just raisins.
Raisins. I like
Charlotte
raisins.
just immediately shrugs and folds all of the other two sets of arms that aren't holding the horse's harnesses. Okay,
With
sure.
great reverence, take a bat-sized handful of raisins over to this bird.
Yes. You
Lay
feeding
it-
God with your hands? You better put that on a platter, girl.
I prestidigitate it.
Yeah. Whoa.
A very
just kind
nice
of like-
leaf.
It does that quizzical bird thing where it tilts its head in various different directions, and then it just goes to town on the dried fruit in your hand.
So majestic.
Is it to your liking?
Charlotte,
Yes.
free to roll me a perception or nature check.
Oh, delightful. I'd like to know what's going on.
I'm so excited.
Hey, caramba.
Oh,
That's funny.
Thank you all.
You know that this is an extremely rare kind of bird that is mildly magical in nature, that just it essentially it casts like a friend making magic everywhere it goes.
You just see, as this is happening, there's this beat of silence. Okay. Got it. They're, yeah.
Do I need to kill
It's
the bird?
it's known as the false sunshine bird.
Oh,
Sunshine bird.
Charlotte, do I need to get rid of the bird?
I'm so aggro.
I don't think you need to get rid of the bird per se,
Sure.
although
You do know that you could just any sudden movement would just frighten a bird away, probably. It is just a bird that is it's friendly, it makes people around it nice and friendly. It's just a good times bird, but it is
Good
just a
time
bird. You could throw a nut at it and it would probably fly away.
okay.
Not even at it, just in its vicinity.
Does it taste good?
don't you scare
I'm-
that
It's skin
bird.
and bones.
I'm going to look and realize that the horse is not going to move either because of the bird,
The horse
And-
looks mildly entranced by the bird.
and stare up at the sky, and then finally go and hiss really loud, mandible teeth and everything.
The horse shivers a little bit, and the bird just kind of and then
Charlotte,
What did you do?
you scared him.
Chew.
Probably not. I don't scare people.
I'm surprised.
You-
that
Well,
is-
you scared him.
There we
Yeah.
go.
I shocked it.
the horse shakes its head a little bit and starts walking again.
I'm surprised I wasn't blamed for that.
I don't.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
didn't do
understand
anything.
the logic behind this, Charlotte. It wasn't hurting anybody.
Oh no, it wasn't hurting anybody.
It's just
But
a god of
also-
good fortune.
Also, I'd like to comment that it was a bird.
It was a god. god, that is
Charlotte.
all that looks like a bird. Charlotte, you have to understand, I am very knowledgeable about these kinds of things. That bird is a deity, and I'm baffled by your.
Charlotte reaches
Just
over
at
and
him.
very gently pats you on the head.
I'll admit, I don't remember how this got started.
Did
I
you
crit
roll like
failed
a
the
nat?
perception
Yeah,
check.
you roll like a nat 1 on this nature,
Oh, yeah.
on this bird.
I don't stop. I'm feeling
Charlotte.
a little bit patronized at the moment, Charlotte, and you still have not explained yourself.
Charlotte, just, and Igor has like a book out at this point on the back of Gamma and like reading with like one hand and just looking up at Charlotte. If it's an animal and it's adorable, Avi and Ophelia lose all sense. I don't know why it happens, it just does. It's something I've learned to live with and learned how to cauterize my wounds after I bleed out because of it.
If not friend,
Igor
why friend
just likes to
shaped?
hit
Very
things.
understandable. Oh, well, I mean, I would think. Did they teach you nothing in school? And
We-
Charlotte just looks at them and fully realizing that they have no idea anything about animals.
Charlotte, all of our classes were literally solving problems that the school didn't have people to solve problems for.
Mostly bugs.
Yeah,
Wow, the school's really
To be
gone
fair, the
downhill
bugs were,
since I've
it was
been
bugs
gone.
because of the circumstances. That wasn't on the curriculum.
We had a full
Bugs.
study session about animals and plant lives. That bird entranced you. That's the whole purpose of the bird. It's magic. Of course you think it's a god. It charmed you.
The one druid is asleep in the back of the car.
Aww.
Listen,
You're right.
I don't know if I listen, Charlotte. Because you are my friend, I will entertain this theory of yours, but I would like to hear in detail why you think that deity is just a regular bird with the friend's cantrip. That's a ridiculous thing to say, but I will entertain it as your friend.
Avi directly in the face and go, you have a book of knowledge, right? Like,
I have many books.
go find a book about aviation, then. Look up, sorry, Matt, give me the name of that bird one more time.
The false sunshine bird.
And do me a favor while we're sitting here and look up the false sunshine bird.
Wait, Charlotte, are you saying that bird has like magical friend-making capabilities?
It's what it does.
Is that
It's
what the
part of
false-
its nature.
Wait, is that what the false sunshine cult's all about? Oh my god.
Oh no.
Okay, all right.
We
I
zoom
will
out
put
to a temple with a
rest of
golden
this-
statue of this bird and an altar covered in fruit.
I
I
just
am going to cast a pocket library
just and
and
Charlotte just sits
discern
there and
secrets.
continues with like
Now, are you making are you looking up like a history of birds? Are you looking up a like
A
zoological
false
textbook?
sunshine bird.
Well, the first thing that comes up, you find a brief historical footnote about a minor religious war amongst the cult of the false sunshine bird. That's not what they called themselves, and what they deemed the heretics, people who denied the divinity of the bird, and they had a brief war in a village out in the jungle at some point.
delightful.
That's what just happened.
You guys had your
We just had a war over whether the bird is God.
Considering that
read
you
further. It was part of it. It was it's part of zoology too in classes. I'm assuming y'all didn't take zoology too.
No,
did
we
you?
didn't hit that.
No.
They
That's
really
so
have
sad.
changed the curriculum since I've been gone.
They really have. On a side note, Ophelia, it definitely was not a war that we just did, because if it was, and it was a situation of Avi Ophelia versus Igora Charlotte, I think Igora Charlotte would win.
Yeah, I
Not
agree.
necessarily
Right.
true. They would give
That's a really bold statement, Igor.
I think I could at least take Avi in a fight.
and
What is
he-
up your
So
butt today,
aggressive.
Igor?
He didn't let the false sunshine into his heart.
for
Let
real.
the
Was that the cult
sunshine
you were in?
into your heart, Igora. I think you could use a fucking friendship bird right now.
I wish I had. I wish.
Children, do not make me turn this card around.
I'm riding a frog. Feel free.
I'm imagining Iboko's
Don't-
dad in
do
the
not
back is
quote.
just like
Like, one of her arms that is not preoccupied comes up and just points and goes, "Do not semantics with me."
I love that this is basically a road trip conversation because you guys were on a road trip.
As an
Yes, we are.
As an alchemist, I thought you would enjoy semantics.
Igora,
Yes.
I really want to just, like, noogie you in the head right now.
Are you low blood sugar or something? Do you need a snack?
You just see
You're
Choco.
not you when you're hungry.
You just see Choco in the background, like 20 feet away from us, because I've like ordered them to walk 20 feet away from us at all times.
Are we there yet?
No, we still have 6 more days.
Are you sure?
Do you guys want to have a opportunity each day to have a conversation?
Yes.
Honestly,
All right,
I am
so-
here for this.
All right,
To
this
the
is gonna be a
battle
funny episode.
royale.
We end the first day, nighttime. Do you guys want to do the thing of setting like a watch or anything, or you just want to kind of breeze through this? I'm
I
just gonna
feel
tell you
like
right away,
we've
no
got-
one's going to attack you during the night.
I feel like we've got what's the traveling song by what's his face?
This is a song that gets on
On
everybody's
everybody's
nerves.
No, not that one.
See,
It's the-
I've been imagining the one from the Critical Role animated series.
Oh.
We're
No,
driving
I've
down
been
the
thinking of,
shitty
like,
mountain,
Brother Bear.
across the-
Oh, I was thinking of
Aw.
like Donkey.
Oh. Yeah, no,
We
I
all
was thinking
went
of Brother Bear one. There's a lot of travel songs.
We all just
y'all.
went so many different ways.
This is just how this road trip is going.
Oh, Fair 99, 500 miles
Well-
in the chat. I thought it was 1,000 miles.
Anyway, day 2.
Anyway, day 2.
Tell everybody I'm on my way.
Got people and places to see.
That one.
And that is why Iboko is actually doing so well in our studies. They are an incredibly talented student. This has just been Igora chatting with Iboko's father about their like school.
Oh
life.
yeah, he is. He's
Very
privy to our
social
conversations in the card, isn't he?
Yeah.
It's like, and like technically there's supposed to be like some form of disciplinary action being taken, but I'm just going to basically say that we did it on the road, and I'm sure like none of them are going to rat me out, so it should be fine.
Disciplinary action for
Yeah,
what?
they said because they technically did abandon without any sort of like notice, so there would have been disciplinary action.
Teacher
Yes.
didn't say anything about that.
I thought Teacher Odd said they'd have to redo stuff if we didn't get them back.
Well,
quickly enough.
we could give them, a community service. They'd be more than willing to do so.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like they've already done a whole bunch of stuff. Like
That sounds good.
I'm saying,
That's it?
they helped us
You don't
with
need
the
it.
research trip, so they have the credit for it. Like I'm not going to withhold those credits. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think that's a fair enough trade. Yeah,
Yeah.
they certainly have good reason for it. Who is calling me?
Me.
Oh, did you get those sending stones finally?
Apparently.
Uh,
One second, friend.
Let's see.
I deadass thought that maybe Matt had like sent you a little secret message. I didn't think it was your actual phone.
I wish. We need more secrets.
I love secret
Igora just
messages.
reading as we go. Next page.
What you reading?
Yeah, what are you reading?
Puts the book away. Just a little novel. Fun fantasy. Puts it
Roll
into their
deception?
bag.
So what's it about?
Puts it into their bag. Oh, 22. The Igor's being cagey about this book. Just puts it into their bag.
Are you reading
Oh,
the
sounds
book
fun.
we got?
No. I am not reading that book. I'm reading another book that has been in
My
possession for some
apologies.
time.
I was being informed by the essential powers that be that my new furniture piece shall be arriving tomorrow from IKEA.
Ooh.
IKEA. It's
We're rolling
very
to see what sketchy book this guy is reading.
It's not sketchy.
Look, Charlotte has no right of asking anybody what sketchy books they're reading. That is
Mhm.
hot calling the kettle black.
I'll let you make a reception for it if you want.
Sure, let's do that anyway. I feel like it's just a general peek glance though.
Charlotte, you catch a word and it's just tactics.
Mm.
And that's all I'm going to say about it.
Chicken cooking tactics.
proper tactics on how to cook a chicken. In any case.
Anyway.
Well, I mean, as it is, I think disciplinary actions should be in accordance to the severity of it, as we were discussing earlier. So I'm in an agreement that they certainly have made up for it with their own typical work that they've done. I think we could have them
Given
do
the
some more tutoring.
circumstances.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not going to hold them back because of this. Like, this was a perfectly reasonable thing to do. So,
Yeah.
I remember one time I had a student in my class, and they set off an entire acidic bomb within the classroom. I was so proud of them. Oh, it was beautiful. It was the most gorgeous color of vivacious greens and
wait, are
blues.
you why?
Oh,
Are you why the? Is that class why the Megami nurse quit?
Oh.
well, it was a goo grenade, so I'm not entirely sure if that was why, but it was so wonderful. However, the Megambia heads informed me I had to give strict disciplinary action, so I made them clean up the entire room. I felt that was worthy of it, mind you.
That sounds like a fair thing that they probably should have done anyway, right?
Yeah.
It's true. I mean, I may or may not have let them keep the remnants for future testing of it, so...
Oh. What kind of tests would you do with that?
Turning it into an edible function that you could use to poison people with, of course.
Oh, fascinating.
I mean, once you actually have detonated the goo, it becomes kind of like a sort of liquidy format that you can then utilize into, baked goods or soups or functions in that way. I had one student who decided that possibly, they could use it as a steak sauce. They just changed the color with different elements to make it look like it was a steak sauce.
Oh, it sounds yummy.
It wasn't. Anyway, I was a great teacher. I don't know why I got so many
still a great
remarks.
teacher.
How did you get frozen again?
Well,
Ophelia, you can't just ask people how they get frozen.
Touchy. We don't have to talk about it, but we just never talked about it.
I thought that they stepped on a trap and that's how it triggered. I thought that was my understanding.
Basically, yes. There was like a sort of like stasis trap in the underground temple where you found her near Blood Salt.
I may have been a little over-eager about, finding proof of some of my research, and I may have stepped where I should not have stepped, and few years pass, and all of a sudden you are...
I mean, honestly, that's fair. All of us have stepped where we're definitely not supposed to have stepped to.
It happens to the best of us.
There's a wonderful story about a spear trap and an elf. It ends very badly for the elf.
Oh,
Hmm.
I'm not familiar with this story, Igor. Is it from your book?
Yeah, that looks like a good book.
Oh, it's from a book that I've read. A little bit of
Oh.
pulp adventure for fun.
Hmm.
So
That's it. That's the second day.
Yeah,
that's the second day. The second night comes around. Anyone want to do anything specific as after the sun is set before they go to bed, or are we just going to move on to the third day?
You know, I do have ascending available to me because
You
I
do?
got a long rest last night. And I've
I
got
think you're on
nothing but
watch.
travel to do tomorrow. So I think I'm gonna do another little Kiara ascending and see if that gets me killed yet.
All right. So,
I think the
you
only thing different this time is I will tell Ophelia before I go down. I'm just gonna. Do you know how the last time I sent Kiara sending that whole thing?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
you want
do
me
it
to go with
again.
you?
Huh?
You want me to go with you?
I don't know if I can take you with me.
Or do you want me to be in there with you when you're...
I think it would just be good to have someone watching me in case
Okay.
in case anything
Freak
happens
out
to my
like you did
physical
last
body.
I didn't know what to do. What should I have done? I don't know anything about that sort of thing.
I would say don't shake me around or roll me.
Okay, I think I did both of those things last time.
That does explain some things.
Side because I thought maybe you would start vomiting for some reason. I was like, well, I can't have her choking on her own vomit, so I put you on your side, and then it was worse.
So I'll just go to sleep on my side this time.
are you guys doing this
Okay.
in the cart?
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like if it's during the night and we're rested,
Well, you're about to like go down for the night.
yes. So we basically have camped at a specific place. So I think they're probably at the cart and the rest of us are resting by the fire.
All right.
Just thought I should have someone on lookout just in case anything
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, I will watch over you like a hawk, because hawks are good at watching things.
Thank you, Ophelia. All right, goodbye. And I shoot that sending off.
All right. So, you are attempting to send out a sending.
Yes.
Now, remind me with PF2, just want to check something real quick.
Because I have a theory about what happened last
All right,
time, and I
so-
want to test it.
What are the 25 words you are attempting to send?
Good evening, my friend. Hope you are well. Just checking in.
Okay, so you are sending off this sending message, and for a moment, you're afraid it's gone back to that state where you cannot seemingly find purchase because it has a similar feeling. And then there's a sensation that I could almost kind of describe as mental static. And now we are going to be doing a ritual. You, McKenna, as the primary, are going to have to be. I'm going to need a occultism or religion check.
Occultism for sure. For sure, occultism.
Okay.
Okay, a 33. I'll take a 33.
And Ophelia, because you were sitting here watching over this, you are going to be the secondary. And as Avi Avi is sitting there casting the spell, I'm like her eyes closed or something, kind of concentrating, you feel the need to something sort of is something in the air. You feel the need to take one of Avi Avi's hands, and I'm going to need an occultism or religion check from you.
Ooh.
37. All right. So McKenna, give me actually hold on. What did you roll for occultism? 33. You know what? That's good enough. I will let you know your commune ritual succeeds.
Oh.
So, you call upon an unknown planar entity to answer questions. You are now getting to ask the servitor of a deity a question. Question. You can ask up to 7 questions that can be answered with yes or no. The entity is likely to know answers related to its purview. So, as you are sitting here, there is sort of this like sparks of light, like a firework starting to start in front of your eyes, and you kind of feel compelled to open your eyes now. And then there's a kind of flash of light, and just sort of floating in the air in front of you, there's like a ghostly kind of, it starts to shift between pink and gold. There's this ghostly, like, tiny little island with a tree kind of growing out of the back, and in front of it is this tiny little, like, spectral fox sleeping, and then it pokes its head up and turns to look at you. And as it turns to look at you and it opens its eyes and it's aware now, little spectral leaves start falling from the tree behind it. And it just sort of looks at you expectantly.
Okay, 7 questions.
7 questions that can be answered with yes or no. The spell lasts up to 10 minutes, so you do have some time to think about this.
Well, I think my first question is going to be a bit of a throwaway, but worth asking. And I just look at it and go, are you also a friend of Kiara's?
No.
No.
Ooh. Also, Elder Worm, thank you for the raid.
Thank you, Braid.
Thank you, Raid. Hi, Raid. Thank you.
Raiding in the middle of the commune. That's 1 question down.
I know.
You don't have to use all 7 questions, mind you, but I'm sure you will.
Yeah. Hi. Bye. Yeah, it's nice to meet you. Oh my god.
Also, Ophelia can see this too.
Oh, I can see that. Oh, I am
Oh.
thoroughly freaked out. I'm like, okay, I took your hand. I don't know what happened last time. I don't know what's happening this
I
time.
took your hand. I don't know how it happened.
Do you at least have her best interests at heart?
Yes.
Oh.
That is good enough for me.
Mm-hmm.
It swishes its little tail as it sits on this weird little spectral floating island.
I have so many questions, but so few of them can be answered with simply yes or no.
Yes.
That was not a question. That was a statement.
That's true.
It swishes its tail a little bit more.
There was no question mark.
She watched the D&D movie.
What can she say? That was also not a question.
To be fair, you also know just from probably studying this, you can suggest questions, Ophelia. It won't respond to your questions, but if
it doesn't.
You weren't the primary caster. You were just the secondary.
I can say whatever I want and I don't have to worry?
Yes, but it won't respond to your questions.
Okay, I love it. Should you ask if Kiara is a god?
That is a good question. Is Kiara a deity?
It gives you a funny look and says, no.
Oh.
Okay, that was a weird no.
Huh.
That's 3 questions.
That is 3 questions.
Yeah, usually when people do the commune thing, they have their questions planned out ahead of time, but you didn't think you were doing the commune.
We didn't know. Is part of her a deity?
That is true, Ophelia, because Kiara may not be a deity, but the part of her that she fused with might be if she has a servitor. Um,
We could also ask like if she's close enough to travel to. I don't.
I was considering asking if she was still on material plane.
Mhm.
Be a
That
good
might
question
be.
to ask.
Yeah. Is Kiara on the material plane?
There is a little smirk on the servitor's face.
This thing.
No.
Answer that question.
Fascinating. Fascinating.
Would there be a hope of us getting to her? Like, I don't know.
Is there a way? No. Oh God! All of the questions I want to ask are how and why
Yeah, or who?
and yes.
Mostly
Um,
who?
It should be noted, is it says the entity is likely to know answers related to its purview. So if you think you might be able to guess about associations with your target, it might you might have good answers for those questions.
Would we know?
Oh, it should also mention it can also answer with likely or unknown. Like it says you can ask up to 7 questions that could be answered with yes or no. It doesn't have to give those kinds of answers necessary. It can give like 1-word answers. Though its answers always reflect its own agenda.
Oh.
interesting.
This wasn't a yes or no questions thing. You know we would be asking what's your agenda?
Right. Exactly.
But
Well, we
who's
did
to
in a
say?
sense by asking, "Do you have her best interests in heart?" and
That's
specifically Kiara's
That's true.
best interests.
Yes,
in
you did
heart.
say
Very
you
obvious
did
one.
say do you have her best interests at heart, right?
I did say Kiara.
Avi, the last time that you did this, you
I think you said
saw
her best interest at heart.
If only we
Oh.
had a VOD.
We can check the VOD.
well, you said that you saw the lady in the Mushroom Wars, right?
Yeah.
That's what happened. Is this at all related to that? Isn't that what you were trying to? Were you trying to do the same thing this time?
I suppose I could ask if her current predicament is related to the Mushroom Wars. Do you think that's worth asking?
I don't know. You're more of a.
I'm trying so hard not to coach you guys because
I
these kind of
know.
very
You're-
specific things is my jam.
Yeah.
3 questions remain.
I
know
know.
In 5 minutes, I'd say.
Oh God.
By this point, Igra, do you think you would have noticed the commotion going on inside the cart?
Oh, definitely. I just. Well, they did something unadvisable, I bet. Charlotte, should we go check on the kids?
Oh, let them learn.
All right. Igor goes back to their book.
Oh man, I
Charlotte
Choco,
is just
like
Choco
munching
sticks
on
his
some
head in and
fruits.
just kind of rests his chin on the lip of the cart. Just kind of.
Choco,
I know
said,
Charlotte is like roasting some vegetables over the fire and handing some out to the to the father. Like, here you go, food.
Oh God, yeah, he's with you guys, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's just hanging with me and Igura, with Gama.
He's telling you guys stories about Iboku's childhood.
Oh my God, embarrassing stories.
Well, problem is, she was a very serious child.
yeah, it's
Aw.
embarrassing.
She insisted on doing homework.
Oh,
A good child. We'll have to fix that.
I want to ask, will I eventually be able to reach Kiara using this method that I am using?
Unlikely.
That means there's a chance.
Mm,
I have 2 more questions. think I will ask that question about the mushroom wars, Ophelia. I think that was a good question. Does her current predicament have anything to do with the mushroom wars?
Yes.
Oh.
That's a very non-committal yes.
Well, it's a pretty broad question.
That's I think it is and it isn't.
Well, is the current predicament related to? That could just mean, you know,
I guess I should have phrased it like as a consequence of.
As a direct result of?
Yeah.
But I should keep my mouth shut.
I suppose, Ophelia, I could ask it to deliver a message for me.
Is that a yes or no question?
Well, I could ask, will you say XYZ to her, and you will either say yes or no. It might be worth a try.
Who are you gonna try to talk to?
Kiara.
Kiara. I want to know who its deity is.
I mean, it as mentioned, it can answer questions with yes, no, likely, unknown, one-word answers. So it can be more than yes or no. It just it won't be able to give you any context potentially.
Right.
Well, one-word answers and yes or no questions are very different things, because if I could ask, where is Kiara, that would theoretically be a one-word answer, but it's not a yes or no.
Also, it could just say like the temple, and that's not helpful.
Right.
It is more helpful than not having any information at all.
I mean, we know she's not on the material plane.
Or like, what plane of existence is she on? Like, are those kinds of questions on the table?
Right.
I mean, potentially.
I would say either
the
ask
entity
about the
answers
message,
with one-word answers.
Ask about the message, or ask who the deity is. Because if we can try to have some other contact with this deity, maybe they'll know more about Kiara.
True. That's a long shot to find an actual deity.
Right. Ooh.
But if it is a deity, it might be something that we could learn about. Books and reading.
I feel like we need to look up stuff about the mushroom wars anyway, right? Oof.
Oh, there's going to be lots of research involved after this either way. I'm looking forward to it.
Yes.
But
good sleepovers.
Yes.
I'm not listening. I can't say it.
No, I think I will ask about the deity, and I will ask what deity do you serve?
Actually, you know what? The little creature opens its mouth and then seems to be thoughtful for a second, closes it, and then hops off into your hands, and it feels like a breeze. Looks at you in the face, and then hops down to the floor and walks over to your collection of bags.
Oh.
And it just pat, like a cat patting at the ground or something. And there's like a little bit of a glow from inside one of your bags, and then it just sort of disappears. This was your last question, right?
Yeah.
Disappears into like a cloud of like ghostly flower petals, and its little platform also goes. And all you're left with is this slight glowing something in one of your bags.
I think for it.
Oh my god, what is it?
You guys find a book that you guys had picked up back in the orchard where the prisoners were being held that one time. You found the ruins of a house where people had lived in. You found an old children's fairy tale book.
Oh. Interesting.
What was in that? What fairy tale was in that book?
You guys never read it?
I don't think I ever even put that in my.
It was an offhand thing I mentioned.
Oh.
If it's in the VOD, if you
Here
go
we
back,
go.
it's in the VOD.
Yeah,
there.
yeah. I bet. That's so
Is there
wild
any of the
because-
text highlighted with that golden glow?
No, as soon as you pull the book out, all the glow disappears. It's a small book. It's like not a novel or something. It's like a little hard cardboardy covered children's book, made to designed to withstand toddlers' hands.
Will you read
I
it
give
to me,
a quick
Abby?
whisper of like, thank you very much, and hope that it maybe hears me. And I start tearing into the book. I want to.
The book is not particularly long. It's kind of odd for a children's book because it doesn't really seem to teach a moral or anything. It's just a story. It tells the story of a unnamed, not minor but not greater deity of stories. That it was responsible for inspiring and remembering stories, but the god grew dissatisfied with its role. It wanted to create rather than simply be the shepherd or inspiration for. So it traveled far and wide. Eventually, it passed through Tien, and it plucked up just a simple animal living its life in the woods. And over the course of years, this minor god poured stories and power and magic into this poor creature. It was not a pleasant experience in its attempt to create its own child god. And unfortunately, by the end of it, though the creature gained some level of divinity, the god of stories was unsatisfied with its creation and simply dropped it back to the earth to lose it in the woods where it had found it.
Oh.
It seemed that rather than being like a god of new stories or anything, it was simply a god of consequences and endings. It was the ending of stories made divine, and the god of stories found that boring.
All good things must come to an end.
And on the very last page, there is a single illustration. A lot of these pages have faded, and the paints that were used to actually illustrate most of the other pages completely gone. They're illegible. There was only the text left, and you really had to squint in the candlelight to see these things. On the very last page of this book, you see what appears to be a sparkling kind of fox tumbling to earth, having been tossed aside.
Poor
That's
Kiara.
terrible. What?
Well, I mean, it kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
You think that Kiara is a fox?
I think she might be something that had a lot of divinity poured into it, and that might have been a painful experience. Because the creature that I called was, a servitor of theoretically this god of stories, right? There are only two sentient beings in this book, and one is the god of stories and one is the fox. And it did not serve Kiara, although it did have her best interest at heart. So
It's
I can
also
only
not a
assume-
friend of her.
Well, I suppose it depends on how it views its own deity.
By the by, both of you roll me a wisdom check real quick.
Ruh-roh.
Actually, a perception check also would work if you just want to do that.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
I'm gonna reroll that. Still not great.
29 is actually acceptable. One thing had been sort of nagging you, Ophelia, and it's almost like a voice in your own head or whispers this to you. You did note, it seemed that the servitor seemed to react slightly differently when you asked a question regarding Kiara, opposed to when you asked a question her.
Her does not equal Kiara necessarily.
Still could have sworn I said.
Man.
I like Will's thing in the chat there, though I'm not saying that's entirely accurate, but it's complicated.
Well, time
Right.
to kill giant Mecha Kiara, I guess.
You don't know about that.
Yeah, no. So do you think that that fox was part of Kiara?
Well, I think honestly, I am considering the possibility that Kiara quite literally is the fox from this story,
Mm-hmm.
like in a directly literal sense,
Mm-hmm.
because it kind of lines up with what we know about her. You know what I mean? I mean, she's not.
On that note, because you're making certain observations, either one of you can make me now an occultism or religion check.
Yes, please. Hopefully, I roll better. Oh, I didn't. That's a 25.
Ophelia,
Madeline.
who is perhaps a little less close to this matter and is being able to view with a bit more academic abstractness, it occurs to you that it's very possible that because this servitor was this tiny little thing, like you commune with like well-known gods, you might summon like an angel or something, or like a big old demon or something. This was a tiny little like ghostly fox that didn't even seem to have like physical mass. And you do know from occultism that often servitors, the strength and presence of them scale to the deity they represent. So if this was the servitor of a deity, probably not a very strong or powerful one necessarily.
I would definitely tell Avi that I don't really think whoever this deity is particularly powerful.
Well, even that is in line with the storybook. There is something that I noticed about Kiara almost immediately upon meeting her, and at first it very much threw me as to what kind of person she might be, because I could tell that there was something more than what we are seeing. And through a little bit of observation, well, that of course.
There.
And I'm just gonna read you. I have from the little secrets portion of my notes. The very first thing written in here is Kiara carries with her a faint aura of transmutation magic with a whiff of the divine, possibly more to do with ancestry than actual spell work, as inherently illusory ancestries are usually associated with the devilish and demonic, not necessarily the divine. So all of that that's literally the first little story relevant note that I have in my notes. All of that is very much in line with that theory. If she was transformed by a deity, even a minor deity would still be powerful enough to do something like that to a poor little fox. Uh-oh.
I'm here.
Oh, I think we lost Zoe. Can you hear me?
No,
We're all here.
We're all here.
Zoe's muted, but
Oh,
Sorry, something. What did you say?
sorry. Avi said, I think that even a very minor deity would have not a too difficult time doing something like that to something like a fox.
Ugh. Morally, though, that's just terrible.
Oh, it's awful.
But I mean, that's the gods. They don't really care.
Not a
depends on
cleric
the
to be
god.
seen.
Depends
Are
on the
you-
deity, in my
Right.
experience, limited though it is.
Mhm.
But I don't know. It makes me even more worried about her and where she may be.
Right.
And as cute as that little servitor was, I am no closer to finding her, although I do feel like this has illuminated possibly a portion of her history. I will have to do more research on this god. God of stories.
I
think
know of a
still have
spider
cast-
god of stories, but that's about it.
That is true, actually. Grandmother Spider, you mean?
Many names, yeah, but yes, it's one of them.
I have one more casting of Pocket Library, and I would like to use it to decipher more information about the God of Stories, possibly as it pertains to Grandmother Spider.
Let's see. All right, so you're gonna look up Pocket Library for Grandmother Spider?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to just read you the blurb about Grandmother Spider. Also known as Nana Anandi, Grandmother Spider began her
Yes, I
existence
remember
as a servant of the other gods, meant to weave fate and reality into existence. Infuriated at her position as a lackey, she made fools of the greater gods through mischief and disruption. She stole and copied Asmodeus's keys, resulting in widespread chaos, and pilfered Sarenrae's fire, leading numerous followers astray. Nimbly avoiding any retribution for her antics, Grandmother Spider rewove the strands of fate for herself, gaining her freedom. She regularly pleads with her brother Akasek to follow her lead and rebel against the gods. And while he always refuses, seemingly indifferent, Akasek has one notable occasion prove vengeful towards those who harm his sister or her followers. Specifically, she is very much known as a Mawagi Expanse god. She is primarily worshipped by people in the Mawagi Expanse. Her edicts are be skilled and clever, think for yourself, take due payment for your work, humiliate the powerful.
Ooh.
Anathemas are abuse someone you have power over,
Oh.
harm someone who has given you sincere kindness, let a slight go unanswered, own a slave. Areas of concern: family, illusion, stories, twilight, and weaving. And her followers range from anywhere from neutral good, chaotic good, neutral, and chaotic neutral.
Then I don't know if this is maybe the deity that we are looking for.
Specifically, that one line about not hurting people under you.
Well,
I
two
know,
things.
I know
That
you are using library lore.
I'm using Pocket Library, which is different.
Okay, so
Do you want me to put that in chat?
Yes, please. I just want to be
Because I do think I need to make a check. This just gives me a little boost to my check.
Yeah. This admittedly is pretty common knowledge. Like gods, especially the Mawagi Gans, are fairly common knowledge, but I'm going to ask you to make a check to glean some more additional details.
So I have this +1, and I'm also going to do Discern Secrets, so it'll be +2.
Okay.
What do you want me to roll?
This would be a religion check.
Yeah.
Ooh, do you want guidance? Can we do that?
I would love a guidance.
So that's going to be what, +3 now?
Yeah. Ugh. Okay. That's about as, it's not great, but it's not terrible. That's going to be a 24.
We ain't religious girls.
You find a very small note about a sort of like splinter god of stories that was more like almost like a servitor under Grandma Spider herself, that she sort of created to just be a shepherd of her own stories, but there is some reference to a crime that this shepherd of stories did that went against the anathemas of Grandmother Spider, and she essentially it's a little vague because, religious stuff, she either reabsorbed them or destroyed them for this act of cruelty that they performed.
Oh.
So that particular offshoot of stories no longer exists.
That sounds like our guy. Someone who committed anathema, but also it couldn't have been Grandmother Spider to begin with, because this specific character was only in the business of, writing down stories and concluding them and not creating them for themselves. I think that was the whole issue of it. But I guess if they're gone now, I suppose we could petition the help of one of the best known gods in the Milwaukee Expanse. But
we could sure try. I'm just not a very religious person.
No,
Are you?
I have my patron, but that's about it.
Yeah.
And I don't think they have much to do at all with.
Igora,
Hello.
give me a perception check.
I'm very much reading a book right now.
Hey, it's our book reading a religious guy.
I'm not religious. I'm a cultist. There's a difference.
You're anti-religious.
31. Igora, at some point during this evening,
I'm religious
as you're
before it's cool.
as you were just sorting through your things, like maybe when you're putting your book back into your bag, you happen to notice that 150 gold pieces are missing.
Oh. What's that about?
Who the fuck? Fucking Mercedes!
Charlotte, who's been also just casually looking, and actually what she's doing is, believe it or not, she is crafting and weaving things together, and it's what about Mercedes?
Fucker stole 150 pieces of gold from us.
Why?
I don't know. It's their fault, though.
How?
I stubbed my toe. It's Mercedes' fault.
What else is in your bag besides your gold?
For your reference, though, Igora, your bag was fully sealed, tightened up and everything, and
just out of character. If this was a goddamn ritual that Avi and Ophelia are doing, why the fuck am I paying for it?
Oh no!
Wait, was there a price for this?
Yes, there is.
You guys didn't have incest worth worth 150.
I lost almost all of my gold.
Wait, you only had 150.
I had
gold?
180 gold.
I will gladly give you that gold. You know how much gold we have?
I have 32 gold pieces now. Fuck's sakes.
You guys suddenly hear some shouting from outside the cart.
Mercedes, I'm going to kill you. Oh,
you howled at the moon.
What is going on?
She's a rich person. Why would she take your gold?
To spite me.
Whose gold is missing?
Yeah, wait, what's going on?
Iboko's father, who's looking very confused by all this, chimes up. Rich folk don't get rich by spending money.
Exactly. They get rich by exploiting the working class, like that poor mage in a box.
Wait, what?
What?
Igora, how would
you have no definitive proof? Then I can't believe that. I need definitive proof. You know this. I've already told you this. You just see Charlotte stab.
Yes, I know. I am building.
One of her hands
Charlotte,
with a needle.
I know. I am building up acid resistance for the eventuality when that happens.
I thought you were about to say I'm building up a case.
No,
I'm writing down all the crimes
listen,
Mercedes has
I
committed.
know that I'm not going to be able to convince them. Even if I have receipts that show even if I had a video of Mercedes kicking a puppy, they wouldn't believe me. So
what's a video?
Igara's going into this alone. Igora,
a Woggy tube.
This is Igara's crusade now.
Ophelia goes over to Igora and grabs him by his
froggy
hands.
Face.
By his froggy, his froggy face.
Don't
Igora,
touch me.
if if it ever happens that she does something that is completely irredeemable and she attacks you,
Putting a person in a box is not completely irredeemable?
No,
No!
it's consensual,
then they
Igora.
wanted that. You know, people are into weird things. You don't know. We don't know.
You never did talk to the guy in the box.
I would
Wait,
like
we
to
could have talked
preface
to him?
No.
this by
Oh.
saying that he's essentially he took the deal to save his daughter's life, but willingly giving up a year for
Could
somebody.
have been given it free of charge.
It's just a year.
If you
And
don't-
everything
if
has
you
its
have-
cost, Igora.
If you have immense amounts of power and you don't use it to help people, you're basically a villain.
Igora,
Then he's
everything
patient.
has its cost.
Nope.
In this world,
And
if
something,
you
and
do
you
something,
know, how do I
something else
know?
happens.
How do I know that she didn't just say as like an F you? She did something nice for someone without paying for it, and then took the payment from my gold purse.
Wait.
Even I think that's reaching,
I don't
but God,
Hold on.
I don't think the gold
And
is
if
the
you
issue.
don't believe that payment is an important part of life, then you shouldn't be mad about the missing gold in the
I'm mad
first
about
place.
the missing gold because the missing gold is things I use to buy things that actively keep us alive.
Like, we
And
just
since
found a
apparently
whole
the
bunch
rest
of-
of you have no regard for your own lives, Igor just gets up. I'm going.
Sorry, please hold
At
on,
the-
hold on.
at the
hold
sound
on.
of that,
At
At the sound of that, Endures of Darkness popped up. You're like, oh, someone need healing?
Igora's head.
Yeah, in here.
Oh.
In here.
Wait,
I mean, we
Choco-
have...
please,
Choco
Sorry,
starts to-
Charlotte wants to say something.
please hold 1 second before
Igor's
we all go
walking.
up flying off the handle.
Walk, walk.
What were you two doing over there?
Oh, I sent Kiara ascending, and I ended up communing with a very interesting, little critter.
Yeah, and I ended up going with her somehow.
Well, you guys
cool.
didn't go
Very
anywhere. The thing was
spiritual.
summoned in front of you.
Wait,
Oh.
sorry, you cast ascending. You did a ritual, yes?
I mean, ascending is a spell, but what it turned into, I suppose, is in line with the commune ritual. I don't know.
Igora,
I don't know.
do you have any sort of, like,
I
cult
just
lore?
I
or
just
anything?
turn her. Igora has no brains. Igora has academia and warfare lore, and a -1 in intelligence.
I'm just trying to think if you would know.
Igora
that
just turns
commune
around.
has a-
It's like, well, all rituals have a cost. That's common knowledge.
Yeah.
Igor just turns around. All right, I rescind the Mercedes fist wag, but now Kiara, and then turns around.
I think Kiara took.
Curse you, the laws of magic.
Although, actually, Igra, that's not a bad idea. I suppose the money could have been taken from the ritual.
But why was it take?
Oh, wait, did that cost money?
I don't know. I didn't think that ascending would cost money, but
Once again,
guess it did.
I
Kiara.
think we owe Igora money, okay?
Don't
Just-
yeah,
worry,
we
don't
do.
worry about the money.
No.
But the
Give me
statement
money.
about you all not caring about your lives still stands, and I'm going for a walk. And Igor walks.
What do you
away.
that's not okay. Go
Wait,
take
no.
a walk. I think
Before
that's a
you
good
go
idea.
for a walk, hold on.
Choco tries to follow Igora. Choco says, "I said 20 feet. You." Ugh.
Are you going by yourself, or are you taking
I'm going.
Gama with
I'm
you?
going by myself. I've unsummoned Gama for the night. Igara's going into the woods by themselves.
Take the
Be-
scarf.
Careful!
It's a 3 action.
Before anyone says anything else. At last. So Igora,
Oh no.
you go out
Oh,
into
I'm
the woods.
so
Yeah, I was like
scared
walking.
right now.
I find a tree. I look at the tree. I raise my
kick
fist
the
to the
tree.
tree. I say, no, that's far too stereotypical for me to punch a tree right now. I'm not going to do that. And I just keep walking.
Give me a perception check.
25.
25. There is a snap of a twig behind you. You turn around, and there's a familiar shape behind you.
Undead
It's
Knight? Undead Knight?
no,
Oh.
it's a large froggy shape. It
Aw.
looks like Gama.
I unsummoned you, Gama.
and you just hear a low, grumbly voice.
Ah,
There's something you've forgotten.
it's this again.
And next week, we're immediately going to dive into combat.
No.
As a bullet I put in a revolver, possibly like a year ago, is finally going to fire now.
I was wondering
Because
about that.
Igra is finally alone, away from people.
Wait, what?
Finally got you alone.
No.
I've been waiting so
Oh.
long.
It
I thought
only
that you'd be
took
happy about this.
76
But before we do
episodes.
that, just before we do that, one little bit of bookkeeping I want to finish up. As you guys watched Igora kind of stomp off into the woods, I always have to remember how small Avi Avi is. Avi, you feel a pat on your back, and Agate is there. And Agate is doing the cat thing, like.
Oh, not on the carpet, not on the carpet, not on the carpet.
And she, before you can get her somewhere safe, a little stone comes out.
Oh,
And it is a rune you have not seen before. And as you hold it, you realize you now know the commune ritual.
Oh.
And you also now know that it does cost 150 gold of
Oops.
incense.
Oops.
Good to know.
Which
Would have
Charlotte
been
was
good.
like,
Would have
wait,
been better to know earlier
Did
today,
you
but
do
it's
a
still good to know now.
Again, Charlotte is like, what did they do to the classes at the Magambia while I was gone?
You accidentally hacked into the commune ritual by trying to send to someone technically you're not supposed to be able to send to.
That's neat.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I hacked magic.
It's like the magic runes and the I help.
So join us next week as Igora faces a shadow from his past, and we return on our voyage back to the Magambia.
Thank you all so much for coming to tonight's episode of The Strength of Thousands Adventure Path here on twitch.tv/Tabletop Rolls. We hope you had a fantastic evening watching us. And tonight, we are going to go and say hi to some people. Let's see, we did Evandale last week. So this week, or did we do Griggs last week? Do you remember who we raided last week? I don't remember.
Greg says Sarah's brother, right? I think we did him on Friday.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we'll go do Third Action this week because we haven't rated them in a bit. Thank you all so much for coming. Don't forget to check out those other shows, and we'll see you all on the next one. Bye-bye.
Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.